Well, we've grown a wheat mini bong. I'm Engineer Hoist, and welcome to this year's TFCON recap and all. Well, at least my version of it. There's already been a bunch of them out there, and there will be more, I'm sure. Welcome to everybody who's in the stream. William Wilkinson, Ionicus. I got it right this time. I kept calling you Iaconus for whatever reason. Ionicus Toy Reviews. Welcome. Super VH, PB2, Soldier, Dark Terror, and my man Fire Talks. Yes, I miss you too, man. I miss everybody. By the way, if you guys don't know and aren't already subscribed, go over to Fire Talks' channel and go check him out. He needs some subs. He's a good dude. He puts out some good stuff, especially the 3D printing. You know, I've talked about 3D printing. He's one of the main guys who got me into it too. And he got some good stuff at TFCON too. Really cool stuff. So definitely go check that out. And also want to say hello to all of you out there who are watching the replay. You know, it's always important. You guys too. So let's see. Where do we start? Oh my goodness. Super VH is asking, did I sell some hammers? No, but I gave some away actually. It wasn't my intention to sell the hammers, but I figured, hey, you know, kind of a free with purchase kind of a thing. And yeah, it was a good time. That was a pretty big thing. So many things happen. I don't even know where to start. I mean, you know, drive up was pretty uneventful. I didn't do the thing all in one day like I've done in the past. I stopped over, you know, but so it was I did like most of the driving the day before and did like the last 3 hours the day of. I got there about noon, and I think Fire Talks was already there. Oh yeah, he was. In fact, as I got out of the car, he was bringing his stuff in. So, and there was I think Deluxe Baldwin had already joined up or had already arrived the day before, and there were a few other people there. Some people that I think watched the channel that I'm not sure if I've really met before. Ultra Megatronus was there. Fishy, Darth Ravage, all cool guys, and Razio Kane Reviews. He's been coming up. He's got a good channel. I'm actually on his video. He pulled me into one of his interviews, and I think he misunderstood because he was talking about how I do the Earth Wars reviews, and I mentioned I was retired. I think he misunderstood. I'm clearly not retired from YouTube altogether, just from the Earth Wars stuff. But it's okay. He's Canadian. We forgive him for that. I'm just kidding. But yeah, go check those guys out. I'm not sure if I have links to all their channels or whatever, but I did check out Fishy. Apparently he does some stop motion, which was really good, by the way. So he's got a number on his name, 22 something. I'll have to look that up. Maybe I'll throw some links in the comments or the description. I don't know. We'll talk about them more some other time. There's a lot of stuff to get to today. So we hung out. Honestly, I didn't go to any panels, which has kind of become a thing. I didn't even make it to the third-party panel. I don't know what I was doing at that time. I think I was in the dealer room at the time, or I don't know. But all of a sudden, I was just looking down. And I was just like, oh, what time? Oh, the dealers, the third-party panel's going on, and oh well. So I watched. There was like 5 people live streaming it or recording it or whatever. So I just watched it later. Nothing really caught my eye. that I was like super excited about. So, yeah. But yeah, we all had a good time, and did meet one person there, Alien Frog. He was mentioning that he was going to be there. Ran into him. Actually, he yelled at me, so that was awesome. It was so cool to meet you, dude. And he got one of my exclusive hammers. I had a couple of my hammers with my logo on it, so he got one of those. So I hope you enjoy your exclusive Hoist hammer. But Oh yeah, I was at the YouTuber panels. That was one of the other. That was the one panel I went to. I don't know why I wasn't even thinking that, because I guess to me that was just a hangout there. But yeah, that fair point. That was the one panel I did get to. So yeah, thanks for the correction, buddy. Uh, yeah, we were hanging out there. It was great. I mean, as always, all the YouTuber panels are always great. And, the one time I was up, I was up there the one time back in when we were in Baltimore the last time in 21, and so I didn't make the cut this time, which is fine. I had my one time in the spotlight. I didn't. Don't. I'm good. You know. So, but no, it was a good time. There were some good questions and everything. Let's see. No, Extra Zero. I mean, he's been at a couple in the past, but didn't really hang out too much. We hung out more this time. Really cool guy. So I'm sure I'll think of other stuff. But I as I do, I spent a lot of my time in the dealer room. Too much in the dealer room, but not all of my stuff came from the dealer room. Actually, I'll just go ahead and talk about what I did Saturday night. I didn't break out any of my things Friday night to do any of the selling, because I took stuff. I took like 2 bins. It was all my leftovers from Orlando that I wasn't able to sell. I just kind of had them all already in bins, so I just grabbed them up and took them up there, planning to sell them at a discount. It was like legend, anything smaller than a deluxe, $5. Deluxes were 10. Voyager 15, and I had like 2 or 3 liter classes for 20. It was very simple, nothing, because I mean, it didn't really have anything like super special either. So that was kind of like my pricing scheme. And if anybody asks, hey, would you take 10 for this if it was a Voyager? Yeah, sure, whatever. I just want to get rid of it. And so it was fun, and it was kind of crazy, because as soon as I brought those out, opened them up. Have you ever seen like the video of piranhas in an aquarium, and somebody throws in a piece of meat and they all just like swarm? That's exactly what it was like when I opened those bins. Just swarm of people. Fire Talks was selling stuff too. He was pretty darn successful. Rodham's Prime was over in the other corner selling stuff, and I'm pretty sure he was successful too. Yeah, the only thing I kind of wish is that we were able to get some spaces closer together. But I mean, all in all, we hung out plenty, and but it was a good time all around. And there was one guy actually came in, and he was digging through, because I had one big bin of mostly Dark of the Moon Bayformer stuff, and then I had another bin with like Combiner Wars, the Prime Wars trilogy. And he was excited about the Prime Wars stuff, because he said that was the time of the Transformers that he wasn't able to collect because of money issues or whatever. So he was just pulling them all out. He must have pulled out like 20 or so different figures, and he bought them all. And I was like, yeah, man, heck, so we'll go with that. And so he was happy. And it was so many. I took a little fold-up wagon to move the bins. It was so many that he actually borrowed my wagon to carry the stuff up to his room, because he couldn't even carry it. So I mean, that was great. And then just did sell a bunch more, but I didn't sell all of it that night. So fast forward to Sunday morning, I was checking out, so I needed to take all my stuff down. So I had consolidated all my leftovers into a single bin. I had come down the elevator, pulling it in my wagon, and I run into this same guy, and he stopped me. He says, "Hey." As it turns out, he actually had a booth inside. He was one of the dealers. I mean, he said he was really buying this stuff for himself, not to sell. But he asked, would you be interested in selling the rest of the things that you have? I said, sure. Let's go take a look. And we figured out how many were there, and we agreed on a price. And he even bought the bin that they were in, because it would be easier to carry everything. So with that, I sold every last thing that I took there, and made a pretty good bit of money, which is good, because it offset my purchases. And to be honest, some of the things that I ultimately purchased at the end of the day were helped along by the fact that I did so well selling the stuff. But yeah, I actually got rid of everything. The best part about that, not just the money, is that I didn't have to bring it home. That was what I was really hoping for. I really did not want to have to bring anything back home that I took up there to begin with, and it worked out. I got rid of everything. I still had some hammers left over, which was fine, but I handed out some hammers. I finally remembered to give out some of the 3D prints that Larkinslayer had given me for last year. We were so busy with the booth, I just never could remember to do that. But this time, as I was standing there, there was some, it's in the lobby, so people are sitting there playing with some of their Transformers or whatever. I noticed some kids over there. They had a buzzsaw or whatever, and so I had some of those prints. So, hey, you guys want a little free add-on kit for your buzzsaw? They're cool. I was like, do you guys got any other things here? I got a bunch of stuff. So they ended up taking like Rhinox and I think skids and a lot of stuff. So even Patriot Prime grabbed a little hilt for the transmittal to Megatron. So yeah, so I was actually remembered to give all that stuff out. So did a lot of selling, also did a lot of giving away, and it was almost as much fun giving away as it was selling. Almost. I mean, money's nice. Who's gonna argue that? I mean, but there's still some more stuff, and I don't know how long it's going to stay relevant, all those pieces, but I'll still give it away. So anyway, let's talk about like the haul. Well, first thing I want to talk about is Fire Talks. Since you're here, I don't know how long you're going to stay, but thank you so much for this plaque. Fire Talks designed this a while back. He's managed to get it to a bunch of people. I finally get mine. It's just a matter of timing and all that. But yeah, so we got our own little YouTube play button as designed by Fire Talks, and I just not sure where I'm going to hang it up. I'll probably find some way back on the wall. Not that you'll be able to see it. It'll just be some kind of a blur, but we'll know what it is. Kind of like we know back there. That's the embroidery that Grand Galvatron did. So we'll go ahead and get this back up over there. But the first thing that I did, because the remember when I did the video last week and I was lamenting the fact that I was not able to do the custom class and it was Hot Rod this year, and I was so upset. Hey, Deluxe, what's going on? First thing that I did, I mean, literally, like as soon as I got into, I think I took the stuff up to my room first, I think, but as soon as I got all checked in to the hotel, the very first thing that I did, Fire Talks was there with me. The first thing I did is that before I go and meet anybody else, after the greetings there, I went up to the custom classroom and went to, I can't remember the guy's name, but he runs the class every time. And I told him the whole story. Is like, the one year I wasn't able to do it. I do a Hot Rod. It's like my favorite character. Is there any chance that you have extra kits, that I could purchase here? And he said yes. It would be $50. So he got the figure, and I've got some 3D printed this out of resin parts. So paints and everything were not included. He did give me a link to the instructions, so I downloaded a copy of the instructions. So that's cool. But here, let's give you a little look in here. So we've got a little spoiler. It's got some molded in flames, and this actually becomes a new chest piece, which again also has some flames and some extra more Hot Rod type of styling. There's also a couple of weapons which also work as some more spoiler business for the vehicle. And then, of course, a new head, which includes a helmet and a face that is separate. Having the face separate makes it easier to paint, I'm sure, is what it is, and then it'll just slide up in there. So yeah, so I got the kit, I got the figure and everything, so I didn't even have to go worry about trying to track down that Earthrise or Earthspark Optimus Prime. So I was very happy about that. That was that was the highlight of the convention. I mean, it was one of the first things in there, but it was one of the highlights too. So very very happy about that. So hey, Ultra Megatronus, what's going on? Glad to see you. It was glad. I was very happy to meet you over there at the con there. So it was the upcoming panel for My Little Pony. I don't know. Maybe we'll put something like that together for next year. So. What am I going to do with the extra pieces that I take off? You mean from Optimus? I'm not sure I haven't looked at the instructions too closely. Mostly what I looked at was what kind of paints do I need. I know the head obviously will be coming off, so I'm not sure what else. But I did check out the paints. I already checked my stock. I've got a yellow, I've got an orange, I've got a flat aluminum, I've got sky blue. They call for old gold, and I've just got normal gold. So, but there's also 3 other paints that I don't have, which I've already ordered from Amazon. And this is just a Hobby Lobby. This is where I got this, and this is the exact same brand that they used. So I'll just need to run to my local Hobby Lobby and look for an old gold. Hey, it's another color, right? To throw in the arsenal, right? Oh yeah. So next thing I'm going to talk about. I'm going to mostly do this in order, hence starting with the custom class kit. That was definitely the first thing. This is not exactly in order, but it's kind of delicate, and I wanted to move it out of the way. I did get a couple of prints from Artist Alley because I always like getting some stuff from Artist Alley. Of course, I had to get Hot Rod. Yeah, I had to get a print of Hot Rod. So there you go. It's like a nice print of him transforming. So you got vehicle mode and bot mode, and there's got a Optimus kind of overseeing it, everything. So there you go. And it was like $2.15 or 2 for $20. So I got a second one. And because I'm a big Star Wars fan, and so is the girlfriend a fan of this characters, I got a really nice print of Ahsoka here. And it looks like Darth Vader's up there, kind of off in the background. So I mean, it's beautiful. I mean, it's really beautiful. Rob Reap, I think, is what is and he was nice. He actually signed the back of them, So very cool. So I got those. That was my Artist Alley haul from that. Very happy with both of those. So, staying on Friday, I'm trying to think. Exclusives were first. Okay, so it wasn't the only thing that I got on Friday, though. I wasn't a fan of the Obsidian Commander. I agonized over it for a while. I was always thinking, if it's still available at the end of the con, maybe I'll pick it up. But if it sells out, then it wasn't meant to be. Turns out it sold out, so that was good because I didn't want to spend another $270. But I did, and I'm secret out. TF Source didn't even barely look at the table, but I got pretty much the other stuff. So let's go ahead and go back to the table. First up, I got the Rat Bat Ultio Senator. He turns into a tape. My very first TFCON in Reston in 2019. They did their first version of Senator Rat Bat, except he turned into like a jet. So I'm thinking of doing a review on this guy because I don't do Earth Wars stuff anymore. I got to do some reviews now, right? So let's talk about doing a review of this. I'll bring out the original Ultio and maybe a couple of my other Senator Rat Bat versions in there. So I did actually have him out down in the lobby, transformed him, and people came by and took pictures of him just because so they could see it in person or whatever. But yeah, he was pretty cool. He comes with a nice little cape that you can pose and all that. Also, this was at the Toy Dojo ages 3 and up table. Also, with that, I got the Mastermind Creations Ocular Max Chops. This is Rotor, I think it is. One of the parts for Ruination. a recolor of Bruticus. I have their Bruticus. It's fantastic. So, of course, I want to go in on this one. Plus, the colors are excellent. And sitting there right next to him, I had no idea this was even a thing, was apparently the first one that was out, which is Shift Lane, or I think Roll Bar, which is, of course, a recolor of Swindle. This got me worried. Uh-oh, what else did I miss that now I'm going to have to go try and chase down? But on Chops or Rotor or whatever, on the bottom of the package, I'm not sure if it's going to come across very well, but they show Shift Lane and Chops here colored in, and the other three are in shadow, which means they're not out yet. And I was like, whew. Okay, so that just means I need to be paying attention to upcoming TFCONs like LA in the spring and Toronto in the summer, because it's very likely we'll be seeing more of these guys showing up over there. But yeah, so very happy with them. I got them out, didn't transform them yet, but I put them back in the box, to come back, of course. But this was a little surprise. This was a complete surprise, and I was very happy to see this at the Chosen Prime table. Like I said, I wasn't really interested in the Obsidian Commander, but this guy was here. Clutch. This was the TFCON Toronto exclusive, and they had extras of them. I was like, so I asked them, I was like, what happened here? How'd you get? Turns out they thought they were sold out in Toronto and even online. I didn't try to get this guy online. I was just like, it's nice, but it's not enough that I wanted to go chase it online or whatever. So I just let it go up, and I figured after the first rush goes, if there's any left over, I'll get it, but it's sold out. I'm like, okay, so be it. That's fine. But I mean, when he's sitting there right at the table, right in front of you, yeah, I'm gonna grab him. So we got Clutch, which is of course a recolor of Clench. He's based on the Armada Optimus Prime, except it's just the cab, and he's got a little extra thing on the back, and he's great. I mean, his head's a little loose, but that can be fixed. But he's still in line with the previous ones like Huntsman and Marksman and Wingman with the crazy European colors or whatever. So it's great. So it fits in there with that, whereas Obsidian Commander is a kind of a departure from that, and that's probably why I wasn't into it. But yeah, very happy with this. So I've got that one. That one I actually did get out. I actually did transform. It's all good. It's great. It's wonderful. So that was it for the exclusives. I take this all back up to my room, come back down to the lobby. We're all hanging out Friday night or whatever. Some people actually already brought some stuff out to sell. And I'm just looking around. I had a few. I did make a wish list, all right? So it's something I like to do just to kind of focus my purchasing, my attempt to stay under budget. I failed, by the way, as I always do. I never, I try, but it's just, impulse control at a convention is tough. So anyway, I made a wish list. I didn't get all of it. Exclusives are always part of the wish list. But there's some other things also that were on the wish list that I was hoping to find. I didn't find all of them, but one of the things that I did find that was on my wish list, I found in the lobby on Friday night, and Legacy G2 Dead End. I was not going to get the G2 Stunticons, but after the sale last year at Ross, I ended up getting the G2 Drag Strip, Shadow Strip, and then I pre-ordered for G2 Breakdown. I'm like, oh great, now I need to go chase down a Drag Strip. I want to say it was Headmaster Don from Radio Free Cybertron who was actually selling this. So I went over there, picked it up, and said, how much? He said 30. I reached into my wallet, gave him 30, and walked away happy as a clam. And I just kept my eyes open at the convention to see if there were any more out there. That was the best deal on a G2 Dead End at the convention. There were some others that I saw at 35, others at 45, but none of them were at this deal. So I got the great deal here on G2 Dead End. So now I've got the 2 available G2 Stunticons we're ready to go. And I'm going to have to clear this space out because there's too many things to fit here. Okay. First thing, Saturday morning, once we got into the dealer room, I went over to Chosen Prime because they're first, right. They're right there at the door. Of course, you're going to look at their stuff first. These two sets were actually also on my wish list. There are a couple of new age bots that I just missed out ordering on because I think what it is, I try to stay, I try to resist. I try to limit myself a little bit, when it comes to pre-ordering things or whatever. But, once I go to a convention, everything's good. Anyway, new age sea spray. And I'm not sure who this recolor is supposed to be. But they come in a set, and I wanted sea spray, and I'll go ahead and take this crazy recolor of sea spray too. Whoever that's supposed to be, because the colors are cool, and so I got that. And then also Huffer and Pipes, or Balin and Dwalin, a couple of Hobbit dwarfs apparently. So I didn't see the recolors because I know they did a recolor of like what was it, Puffer and Road Ranger or whatever. Did they have dwarf names too? Most likely. So I went ahead and got these guys. These were both on my list. Other things on my list from New Age that I didn't find. Let's see, Blaster, but he's still available. I just need to order him. And Wind Charger and Tailgate was the other one I was hoping to find, but I couldn't find them. But right next to these guys was something else that, if I had thought about it, would have been on my list because I saw he was out. Deluxe did a review of him, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. But I never actually went and ordered him or chased him down or whatever. But right next to these guys, DX9 Vasily, or Double Dealer, Legends Class Double Dealer, or Legends Scale, whatever, same thing. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we got him. So this was like my first purchase, was these things right here. So yeah, I'm very happy. Haven't opened any of them up yet because there's so many other things to do. I mean, you don't want to sit in your room playing with your toys, if at the convention, or at least I don't. I'd rather be in the dealer room buying more, or just hanging out, right? So this was my first purchase there on Saturday in the dealer room. I don't know what order these others were in. Probably this one. So I went back. I didn't find much else. But there was one booth off in the corner had a bunch of these guys for whatever reason, and $20, $20. That was an easy decision. Of course, I've never had a G1 Hound figure, and I had considered getting this, but I didn't want to pay like the full retail. That's a little much because I know this guy's tiny. He's practically Legends class, right? So, but $20 for this, heck yeah, that was an easy grab. And then the next thing I got was kind of a random pickup. It was one of those things where it's like I feel like I was walking around feeling like I need to spend money on something. There were some things I already had my eye on, but it was kind of expensive, and I wasn't sure that I wanted to spend the money. And this was before I did all the selling, so I didn't have that extra cash flush to help me break my budget. So I found my way over to the Chosen Prime, kind of like the what do you call it, like the open box table. So they've had a couple of tables where they had open boxes, or I think what it is some of it's like pre-owned stuff or open box, or some of it might have just been we've only got one of these things left, so we'll put it out on this table. But anyway, this apparently was a pre-owned thing or whatever. So I saw this sitting there. It was $20. There was nothing else. It was just this on a piece of cardboard with some plastic. I had no idea what this is, or at the time. I know what it is now, but I had no idea what this was. I just saw blue with the red flames. That's kind of like the Bayver's Optimus deco, which is a cool deco. I mean, however you feel about the Bayver's, it's a cool deco. So I saw this, no idea what it was. I asked the guy there, "Do you happen to know anything about this?" He didn't know, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to consider it a blind box. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to get it anyway, and then I'll figure it out. So I did, and it was fun. It's a gorilla. Jojo, like Flame Jojo, I think is what it's called. I looked up afterwards. I transformed it before I looked it up, just because I wanted to kind of do the whole blind box kind of thing. One issue is he is missing one of his feet. It's not a big issue. Everything else transforms fine. He is missing one of his feet. It's small enough that if I ever get around to figuring out how to design stuff, I could probably design it and print it in probably like 5 minutes. So it's cool. So see, I knew Deluxe would know this right off the bat, but it was still fun. It was kind of a blind box kind of a deal for me. So yeah, Deluxe dabbles in the 52 things a bit, toys thing a bit. I almost went to your channel to try to see if I could find it, but I wanted to keep moving, I knew you were the resource though. But yeah, and I think that was it for the dealer room for that day. Yes. So that it wasn't even quite the evening time yet, but it was kind of like the afternoon. Things were starting to wind down. I think we're trying to figure out where we might want to go for dinner. And I don't know if I mentioned him yet, but Rico Suave. No, Rico Red Star, another one of our friends who's got a YouTube channel. We've met him at I think it was at Baltimore last time in 21. He was in Orlando too, I think. So yeah, so we've been there. Rico's a friend. So I'm sitting there with Patriot Prime. Rico comes over and offers this to Patriot Prime. He says, "Hey, I got an extra hound. I already have a hound. I know you like hound. You want to have this?" And Patriot Prime says, "Oh, I've already got it. I really appreciate it," or whatever. And I'm sitting there and I just said, "I like hound." I hadn't gotten any blockies before. I was trying to avoid it. I've seen Fire Talks. I think Deluxe has some. Patriot Prime has some. Everybody's got them. I was trying to avoid them, but I went ahead and jumped in. So Rico was kind enough, he went ahead and gifted this to me. I haven't built it yet, but it's a Transformers 1 version of Hound. So thank you, Rico. I do really appreciate it. And I blame you for every other blockies figure that I got at TFCON and in the future. It's all your fault. And thank you. so he says, Deluxe says they suck you in. No doubt. And Fire Talk says Rico is one of 3 people who proudly own Fire Talk shirts. Yeah, he was wearing it there. So we've got where is it? Yeah. So we've got Hound. And while I was sitting there, it was Friday night, and was it Friday night? I don't know. This might have been Friday. Anyway, no, I think it was Saturday night. I hadn't quite brought my stuff down to sell because I didn't bring it down till like 8:30 or 9 o'clock. But there was some people already selling, and it was shortly after Rico got this to me. There was somebody else there had a table. He had 3 blockies labeled Ironhide, Ratchet, Prowl, and wanted like what was it, $5 for them or something like that. And I said, yeah, I'll take all 3. So almost immediately, boom. Now I've got 4 blockies. Hoist's definition of caving in. Yes, yeah. When it comes to TFCON, most certainly is the case. So I got those 3, and then we roll around into Sunday. And before we get that, before we get to Sunday, I did all of the selling. I already told you that whole story. So now I've got extra money to burn, and then Sunday morning got even more money to burn, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So it was still difficult for me to pick up a couple of these things, but I did eventually. Um, I don't think I'm going to bring them all over, but let me just tell you, 12 edition. Edition nine more blockies I purchased. There was one booth there who had them all. They were all already opened, and they had a deal 9 for 100. I know it's more than what you could spend otherwise, but you could pick which character you wanted. So I picked 9, paid them $100, and I got those. But one of the ones that I wanted was already taken with Soundwave, but they also had some of the rare ones, the chase figures with nice metallic paint available. They were $40. Yeah, that's what you get for the rare, right? I really wanted a Soundwave. They had a Soundwave rare one, so I did go ahead. Well, I mean, this picture doesn't mean anything, but this is the Soundwave chase. So I did pay $40 for a Soundwave chase figure. So that's the one that I do know about. And I'm keeping this set aside so I know what it is. All of the others, I've taken the labels off, so they're all kind of mixed up again. So when I do actually go do this, even though I know the roster of characters that I chose, I won't know which one it is when I open the box. Except this one, I think, is the Hound. I did get a Ryan Pax from this set too. So once I get it mixed up, I won't know which one's which. But so yeah, Loki's trap set, victim caught. Yes, indeed. So all told, I got 14 blockies. I went from 0 to 14 in a weekend. Unbelievable. And that wasn't even buying like a pack, because you can buy packs of 9. And if you think that's a lot, don't ask Fire Talks how many he has. That guy buys them by the truckload, right? Okay, so I'm still going around. I was debating about these guys for a while, and I did finally get the New Age Turtles. These are basically the Brawn and Outback mold, and they were sold as a pack. And I looked at them multiple times. Got towards the end of the day on Sunday. It was my last lap through the dealer room. And it was kind of one of those things, like I said, if they're still there when I do my last lap, I'll get them. And that's what happened. They were still there, so I got them. So it was meant to be. They will go well with my Party Wallop set that I have there. Let's see. Also on the Chosen Prime, I was open box pre-owned or probably low stock also table. I found these guys. They were sealed. My guess is they were low stock. We were already talking about the Beast box. So I already opened that floodgate this TFCON too. So I went ahead and got this one. This is Schlegel. He is an alligator. And since I live in Florida, I felt that was appropriate that I would have an alligator Beast box, right? So there we go. Fire Talks added up his blockies 42. No, so your number of blockies is the meaning of life, right? Or the answer to life and the universe and all that. What, I don't know. I never saw the movie, but I've heard the meme. Anyway, so then I also found this one, Raiden. It's a purple rhinoceros. I just like the color purple, and my girlfriend likes purple. So I don't think I'll be giving this to her because she's not really into all this stuff. But she will at least appreciate the color. So, plus it's just another Beast box. I already had 2. I got the Green Dragon and Toxicorn, which is a bull. So I've had those 2 for a while. I didn't even get them at a con. I wanted the Green Dragon at the last time we were in Baltimore, but it sold out before I gave in. But I did eventually get it online. So I had those 2. So that already had wet my whistle, but finally I'm starting to add to the collection. It's I mean, on the surface you think it's like, yeah, it's just a bunch of animals turned into little boxes, but I mean, they're cool. I mean, they're cool. If you don't believe me, go watch Deluxe's channel. He's got like all of them, and they're, he does awesome videos anyway. So yeah, definitely go check those out. Before on that last day, so after I found out that guy who bought all of my stuff, after I found out he had a booth, I went and looked for him in the in the dealer room and I chatted for him for a little bit. Had a nice conversation there, and happened to see behind him in his booth on the shelf. I saw this sitting there, had a price of $80 on it. He actually gave it to me for 60, and I got a reissue Rodimus Prime in box. It has his gun. Doesn't have the blast shield. He's got rubber tires, which is in really good, way better condition than the one I got last year. That one was G1 though. This is a reissue. I think he's got the metal feet even. It's just missing the blast shields, and it doesn't have the plastic insert. So what I figure I'm going to do is I could probably go ahead and do that with the box. Like if I could just find some plastic, which I think I actually have the 4-pack with Tarn and Cliff Jumper. I was just about to throw that box out, and it's got plastic. A window, which I think is enough to cover this. So I'll do that and then find some way to arrange Rodimus in the package so he can go there. Because I just like the look of the package, so it can sit there on the shelf next to my my hot rod package. So those were the two G1 type figures that I got today. The Rodimus Prime, or not today, at TFCON. Rodimus Prime and the Retro Hound. I think we're down to 2. This one was relatively early on Sunday because he wasn't quite as expensive as the next one. But I was debating or I was avoiding getting this guy when he first came out because I was like, oh, I've already got another version of him from Iron Factory, and that's fine. But I don't know if I saw him in person before, but it really hit me now that this is so much better than the Iron Factory. I mean, just this is the New Age Jetfire or Skyfire. They call him Firefox, not Firetox. They call him Firefox, and this is the tune colored version as opposed to the toy color version, because this is the tune model of this character. Because the toy was a completely different thing. It was basically the Macross Valkyrie, whereas this is the cartoon version that was never had a toy in G1. They just completely changed it, licensing reasons, whatever. So I felt the tune coloring was appropriate for this. So it was a pretty good price. I think it was less than what he was originally going for. So I got that. And the last but not least, I got it's so big. I got to go for this one. Go for this camera. I was debating on this one. I was avoiding it because I did have another Legends class version over there. I know that one I have over there was not good enough. This guy was just so much money. At the time when he was first out, I was avoiding. I couldn't justify. I couldn't. Still, even that it took. He was on my list of things to get at TFCON, and even though that was the case, it still took me to like the end of the con. I purchased this and walked out of the dealer room, and I was done. New Age Michael, aka Omega Supreme. I'm sure I'll love it. It was really, and at one point it really came down to: do I want the toy colored version, which is what I ended up going for, or do I want the EX version? Oh, I'm sorry, this is the tune color version. Actually, it's kind of toy color version too, or the EX, which is kind of a little bit more metallic paint or whatever. I did go for the, I'm getting the Dinobots from New Age in the EX version because they're more like a toy deco or whatever. So I was thinking, like, oh, maybe I'd do that. But there was about a $50 price difference. And then the more I thought about it, it's like even on the back of the package, they show him, fighting his nemesis Devastator over there. And it got me thinking, it's like, I've got the New Age Devastator. They're toy colors, or cartoon colors rather. So I should get the matching Omega Supreme. So that's why I went with this one. And haven't opened it yet. I haven't opened any of these things yet, with the exception of I did open the exclusives, like I told you. And Sunday night, as I was sitting in my hotel room, I did open old Schlegel here, and gave him a little transform back and forth. So that's all I've actually opened so far. Now, when I got home, I had two other things waiting for me because these actually came from Amazon. They hit my PO box on Thursday, but not until after I already started leaving for TFCON. Reactivate Bumblebee from Studio Series and Studio Series Bumblebee movie concept art frenzy. So those two are also here in the pile of stuff that I need to go through. Oh, one more thing that was on my list at TFCon that I saw what there were two options for this at TFCon. One was way overpriced. The other one was about the price I was expecting, but I was still debating wanting to spend that kind of money. And by the time I came back around, it was gone. And I went ahead and checked the Show Z, and turns out the price I was expecting, Show Z actually had it on sale for $50 off. So I just placed the order with Show Z, and it's already shipped to me. In a couple of weeks, we'll be seeing the Studio Seed, that cool Primus figure. So I bit the bullet, and I got a Primus to go pair with my Unicron here. I know it's way smaller, but still. So yes, I went in and ordered that too, and I ordered it while I was at TFCon, so it counts as a TFCon purchase. At least in my head and in my budget, it does. Did I not get the Reactivate 2-packs? No, I never did. I never did get those Reactivate 2-packs. I don't know why. I'm trying to cut back, and that was one of those things where I just like, I don't know why. I just couldn't bring myself to purchase them. So I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's just the same figure as it was in the 2-packs." It's like, yeah, but I didn't get them, so I'm the target audience for this, and for any of the other Reactivate figures that they bring out in the Gamer Edition, because I didn't get the other 2-packs. So, and the Zeta Toys Primus, and Fire Talk said, yeah, Primus is awesome figure, and once you see it, you will 100% order the Studio Metroplex. Now that is probably the one thing that caught my eye at the third party panel. Other than that I was like, ooh. Other than just like New Age showed Warpath that's coming. That's cool. I'll get Warpath. I like Warpath. A little New Age Warpath. That's going to be fun. And I know they showed some other stuff. I don't even really quite remember. But yeah, this Studio Series, that's not the right way to say it, but that line, because you had Cell, which is Unicron, Seed, which is Primus. They showed off a few others. Like didn't they show like a Broadside, which is the kind of the jet mode is kind of weird, but I mean it's true to the G1 jet mode, which is always terrible. But anyway, but yes, their Metroplex is accurate to War for Cybertron. We got Thrilling 30 Metroplex, our Titan class Metroplex that we got. Was he technically Combiner Wars? I think he was technically Combiner Wars. The Metroplex that we all got, the big Titan, the one that kicked off the Titan class. He came around kind of inspired by the whole War for Cybertron, but didn't look anything like the War for Cybertron, really. I mean, if you look at him with the War for Cybertron, it doesn't look like him. The one this company's come out with, clearly based on the look from inside the actual War for Cybertron game, and I am 100% in on it. Yeah. Or is it Fall of Cybertron? I don't know. It was one or the other. But yeah, I am totally in on that Metroplex whenever it comes back around. They said it's going to be, he's taller than Primus. And it's because he's got the tall shoulders. But I mean, it counts, right? But they stand about the same head height. But yeah. Okay, so you're saying Broadside with the stupid jet mode, Devastator, right? Metroplex, and yeah, I'm thinking there's something else too. Joseph Trujillo, welcome. So I think I got through everything. Like right before Ollie's had a sale. I think, I don't know. Did I show you guys? I picked up a couple of things from Ollie's, like a couple of Beast Wars figures. Beast Wars reissues like Wolfang and Iguanus and Pterosaur, I think. But they're over in the other room, the mythical other room. So I had to make space for all this other stuff. Oh, goodness. Studio One has Cyberverse Dinobots too. Oh, really? Yeah. So, yeah, that's it for the haul. What else is there? I'm not missing anything. I'm sure I'm missing something. It'll come out during our next streams or whatever. And yeah, and I know I was missing some of the chat going on. Oh, Fire Talks, thanks for making Jazz Dance. Appreciate that. For talking you out of a few things. Did I talk you out of a few things? I thought I was trying to talk you into it. Let's see. Aircraft carrier. Oh, for the studio. Okay. Let's scroll back. See if I missed anything. Because I know there is some chat now, but when I get on a roll where I'm doing my show and tell stuff, I try to look at the chat, but I miss a lot of it. So, there's so many G2 drag strips. Yes, there was a lot of G2 drag strips. Kept telling yourself no. I'm pretty sure I have a couple of extras still. So if you change your mind, let me know. Speaking of which, we need to get back with you about that missing link, Prime. That was one of the things on my list. They didn't have any. Fire Talk said he had an extra one, so he said he might hook me up. So we need to touch base about that. Bet you before the con, we had a lot of G2 Universe Dead Ends. Well, Larkin's Lair actually had a bunch too, but when G2 Dead End was out, I was trying to avoid getting it, and by the time it came around, he wasn't on the shelves anymore. So I was like, well, I'll find him eventually at some point. If I got to go to eBay, I'll go to eBay. But man, I got lucky, found him for $30. That is about as good of a late tax as you're going to get. Yeah, I think I mentioned this. Yeah, Legends is life for sure. Yes. Still scrolling through. Still haven't found the blockies. Yeah, I haven't been looking for them, but I haven't seen them in stores either. At least not on the Transformers aisle. Okay, so we're getting back to the new stuff. So what did I miss while I was going back through the old stuff? Super V's got to go. Great, thank you for being here. Yeah, we're pretty much wrapping up just as Oktar is getting here. What did you miss? You missed practically everything. Fortunately, the replay is available, so you can go through it. We had a great time at TFCON. Showed off my haul. Spent way too much as always. Yeah. So just did a picture to be on the lookout for. It was a group picture that Combros took with the rest of us. Okay, cool. Well, you threw in an extra person. Oh, okay. Well, I'll be looking for it. So, yeah. So I think that's. One thing I almost forgot. Daniel, I think was his name, was there. He had printed some Vector Sigma keys and handed them out to a few of us there that he watches. So was it Fire Talks? Was this you that he said that helped inspire him, and he got himself a resin printer, made up these Vector keys to Vector Sigma, and handed them out. It was really cool. It was really well done. So I was very happy. yeah, I saw everybody else getting them, and then I was just like, okay, that'd be cool to have. I was feeling a little left out, and then he noticed me. He's like, oh, hey, Engineer Hoist, I've got something for you too. And I was like, oh, I was so happy. So, so yeah, so I got my very own key to Vector Sigma, and yeah, it's really cool. I was very happy to see that. So. And the other, probably one other thing, you've probably heard a lot about this, but yeah, Patriot Prime had his tech specs, so I had to get one for myself too. So, trying to think if there was anything else of note. Oh, there was one guy had a booth. He came up with some Transformers out of Lego. So he had designed them. They transform and everything. I didn't purchase anything. I did get his card, but he's got a. I'll go ahead and hold this up in case you want to try to chase him down. The QR code doesn't work. I tried to look at that. It's an expired QR code, but that was his card. He made them, and in hindsight, I probably should have. Probably could have gotten one of them. So it would have been nice, because they were really good. So if I had to regret anything, it would be regret not picking up one of those, because I like Lego, yeah, I like Transformers. So I mean, that's perfect. So anyway, that was pretty cool. There was a lot of cool cosplay. Other people have got pictures. I always forget to take pictures. I know there was I know people have taken pictures with me, and I always just I don't know, I feel weird, or just don't think about okay, we just did one, so now let me go. I don't know. It's just so, it didn't bother filming anything. I didn't even get pictures of the displays or anything. Yeah, probably because it's like my fourth TFCON, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, well, yeah, the displays, I'll go take a look at it. I don't need to take a picture of it, because there's 1,000 other people who've already taken pictures of it and posted it up there. If I want to look at it, I can go look at it. So yeah, so I don't have a whole lot of pictures to share there. I think it's about time to wrap it up there. So when is the next stream? For me, not currently planned. Let me just see if I can see something. No, didn't find what I was looking for. So I know Extra Zero said he was going to do a stream at his usual time. I'm not sure what that is. I want to say it's 9:00, which would be right about now. So I'm not sure if he's going live right now or not, because he also mentioned a problem. So anyway, when we get done here, go check out Extra Zero. I mean, that's his channel, Extra Zero. Go check out his channel. If he's live, go hang out with him, because he'll be talking TFCon too. But that's what I'm going to go look for. So when's the next stream? Potentially that. When's my next stream? I don't know. I've got some ideas. The whole way home, I was just flush with ideas. I've got lots of ideas of things I want to do. I definitely want to get back to doing reviews. I got so many cool things that I want to talk about. The blockies, I'm going to at least do one build of the blockies, at least one, maybe more. Not sure. Lego Bumblebee, we're going to be building probably across a couple of streams, like we did Optimus Prime. I'll be unboxing Tidal Wave at some point, because I like to unbox the Titans. I'm a little late because it came in during my my break time, but definitely we'll be doing that. And I've got some ideas for some other stuff. I'm going to do the custom class. Obviously, I just got the kit. I haven't done it at all. I'm going to do a video of that. It's not going to be a stream. The paint, it's going to take too long to paint. One of the nice things, I think, the benefit of that is, as cool as I like the class, 8 hours. You give you 8 hours. It's a long time. That's not enough to be able to do a good job. So I want to try to take the time to do a good job with this custom, especially because it's hot rod. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this opportunity to actually film my process going through and doing that custom class. So and we'll see how that goes. If that goes good, maybe I'll do it some other thing. Doing some other things. Oh yes, good. Thanks for reminding me, PB2. We've also got the stream submissions. We've got a bunch of stuff in there. People have submitted in my Discord, including PB2 with all of his Minecraft creations. Yeah, today wasn't the last week wasn't a good time. Today is not a good time. We'll get to it. Yeah, so I've got lots of plans. Whether I can actually find the will and motivation and time to bring them to fruition, time will tell. Yeah, so we'll just leave it at that, and I think we'll call it a night. This what stream starts at 9, may possibly extra 0. So go check that out. I don't have a link to his channel, and it may not actually be. I'm just not sure. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for me tonight for TFCON. You'll be seeing this other stuff here in the future outside of the box, so we actually get to enjoy them, and all that stuff. So that's good. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends. We'll see you next time.